So today I'm talking about a Libra woman and how to get with one. So a Libra woman's birthday falls between September 23rd to October 22nd. Her quality is cardinal, her element is air, and her symbol is the scales. Oh, love. Love is in the air with a Libra woman always. A Libra woman is an air sign, so she's naturally more social and communicative than signs of different, from different elements. Now, Libra is also the sign of the scale, so two weights on different sides constantly trying to balance each other out. So what do I personally take this to mean? Libra women are very relationship-oriented. This is not a woman who would do well as a loner, even if she would like to pretend that she could totally handle that like a pro. She really does better as part of a pair, or maybe even a group. It's any other person to her is better than being alone. Libra women put the relationships in their life above all else, and this doesn't necessarily mean a romantic relationship. It could mean a family relationship, a platonic relationship, a work relationship, a relationship with a pet, like so on and so forth. These women put a special emphasis on their love lives, and if you start to know a Libra woman very well, or you've known them for a while, you'll start to notice that they're never really single for very long. You know, even if they tell you that Johnny is just a friend. Libra women do better as part of a team, part of a relationship, part of a pair. It's just what they feel more comfortable with. The only problem is that they're on a lifelong search for the perfect partner, and though they're not afraid to be picky, this could lead them to be single more than they'd really like to be. Libra women tend to be quite attractive, and honestly can be some of the best looking females in the zodiac. They can be very feminine, but because they are the scales, they're always trying to balance, and they always want to balance in their life. So they might have a part about them that could be quite masculine. There's usually some piece of their life or a part of their personality that, veers to a little bit more of the masculine side. And they might not be too open about it. It might be more of a secretive thing, but once you get to know a Libra woman, you'll see, whatever it is this may be. If you know them well enough, you'll eventually figure it out. It just can't be girly all the time with these women, but for the most part, it tends to be a little bit on the more feminine side with a Libra woman. So Libra women can be quite indecisive and have a hard time making up their minds. Sorry for the constant reference, but they're always weighing the scales, trying to find the perfect balance, and it can be difficult for them to make up their minds. They despise conflict, and they really can't stand arguing, and they'll pretty much do whatever they can to avoid a fight. That being said, they do enjoy a debate. These women really like to consider every angle of everything and everybody, so they like to spend their time analyzing people that they're interested in, which could be like the mailman, the cashier, like a friend, their pet, anybody that they're interested in at the moment. Like I said, Libra women have a hard time making up their mind, and when they feel like they're in a conflict and, they're needing to balance those scales, they like to really talk out whatever it is that's bothering them. They can be indecisive and go back and forth about things, but keep in mind that when a Libra woman believes that she's made up her mind and made a firm decision, it can be very hard to, change that or sway her to a different decision. And even though that decision might change the next day, a Libra woman is very firm when she thinks that her mind is made up, and it's hard to convince her to change her mind. This could be a little bit difficult for a man or a woman interested in a Libra woman. She can put a lot of pressure on her suitor to basically help her figure out whether he or she is the one. Awkward. So she'll kind of ask a lot of questions of, whoever's interested in her, and kind of make them try to help her figure out if they should be in her life or not. Again, real awkward. She kind of goes about these investigations in a subtle way, so she doesn't really scare off her suitor, or whatever you want to call it. She might make them be start thinking a lot about their relationship and her and him and whatever. She doesn't go about this in an intimidating way. She just really starts to put a little pressure on the person to help her figure out if they are the one or not. Let's talk a little bit about a Libra woman outside of a relationship. Libra women are compassionate and fair. They truly care about people, and they are the type to give that one person a chance that nobody else wanted to. These women enjoy beautiful things with Venus ruling their sign, so they might be very into fashion or beauty or something creative. These women take extra care in their appearance and can be very fashionable and into their looks. You won't often catch a Libra woman out in public looking less than desirable. Libra women are smart, they're intellectual, they like to communicate, intellectually. But like I've said, back to those scales again. I don't know what this is. It's like a little dance move for the Libra woman. But anyways, it's embarrassing. Libra women, they're constantly trying to balance their scales. So if they are in like some sort of a conflict, which could be often because their love life is usually, pretty dramatic at times, because they are always looking for the one that's very important to them, so it could turn into a little bit of a dramatic situation. But anyway, so if their scales start to become off balance because they feel like they're in a conflict and they can't seem to balance out whatever's going on, they can be a little bit annoying or irritating. They can get moody or depressed or just feel like so confused about life. They can even get kind of angry. So, she'll start to like pick little fights because she's feeling blue. And her anger, though, is like never really like scary anger. Like, she kind of comes across as more subdued and gentle, even if she's stating that she's furious or irate. Like, she doesn't really look it. She just kind of has a hard time being intimidating because she just has a good nature about her. So, a Libra woman, when her scales are off balance, can feel confused and restless and, like, questioning a lot about herself and life and others. But once they kind of figure out what's bothering them and like balance out their scales, then a Libra woman can be quite brave and go after whatever it is she figures out that she wants. Whenever she decides that. It could be a while. So a little bit more about a Libra woman outside of a relationship. They tend to be quite social, like they really just love people, they love interacting with people, but most Libra women really don't like big crowds. They prefer more like intimate group settings, maybe one-on-one or a couple of close friends, and they really like to communicate in that way. They love long talks that go on for hours. They like to analyze things, and they love to meet new people and figure them out, but they aren't very fond of being in a huge group of people because it's not really quite as intimate, and a Libra woman just doesn't like that. So you want to know if a Libra woman is interested in you. One way to tell is a Libra woman is generally and typically quite the flirt. It's kind of just her nature. She loves to be flirty. She can be flirty with people that she considers friends, and then they start to like her and she doesn't know why. But it's because she's being flirty with them and doesn't realize it. Like I said, she's very into her looks, into fashion, and she really appreciates somebody that's well-groomed, well-dressed, really takes care of themselves. And if somebody has poor hygiene or just doesn't like look good, like is wearing ratty clothes out or something like that, she's really not gonna maintain an interest in that person. A Libra woman appreciates honesty, but she doesn't want her honesty to be harsh. Some people can take it for what it's worth, and they like people to be like very upfront and honest with them. But a Libra woman prefers her honesty delivered in like a little velvet box. So she likes when people are gentle with her, but she doesn't, like to be lied to, obviously. Who does? Libra women appreciate a little bit of an edge just to be curious about, just to keep them on the hook, to keep them interested in this person. But they really hate big screaming fights. It wears on them immensely. They're not the type that really want to be in a relationship where it's like fight and make up and that repetitive cycle. Like, it's really a lot for them and can make them quite depressed and upset. A Libra woman really wants the person they're interested in to fit in like with their family and with their friends. It's very important to them. They want all the relationships in their lives to, be good and to work out together. Like, they don't really keep like their relationships separate. Like, if they have friends and they meet new friends, they want them to meet. They want their, friends to meet their boyfriends, etc., etc. They want like the family to know everybody. That's just like how they are. They want all their relationships to be intermingled. A Libra woman appreciates an equal relationship. She doesn't like the stereotypical, male plays his role, female plays their role. She likes more of an equal relationship. It's my dog sneezing. Like a lot of air signs actually prefer that. A Libra woman hates to be pressured to make up her mind. So if you're the type that wants to, try to force a relationship on her when it's too soon for her to really be sure about it, she's not gonna like that, and it's probably going to make her lose some of her interest in you. Or like all of it in 20 seconds. They really want a genuine person, and they really hate people that are rude. Like I said, they care about people more than your average Joe. Like, they'll go out of their way to be nice to somebody. So if you're on a date with a Libra woman and you're being like lewd, not lewd, don't be lewd ever, but if you're being rude to like the waitress or whatever, she's gonna be really turned off by that. So honestly, it's so hard to tell if a Libra woman is truly interested in you because, like I said, she's such a flirt. She likes to test a lot of people out to see who is the one. Like, finding the one is very important to her. So she likes to, like, really be sure, and she'll test different people out. If you think you're dating her, she might also be dating several other people at the same time. Because, like I said, she really has a hard time making up her mind, so it's difficult for her to make that final choice. And also, like I said, she comes across as flirty even if she doesn't mean to, so sometimes you may think she's interested and, like, really, she just thinks of you as a friend. So, like, the best things, I'll just give you a couple things to think, like, to know that she's truly interested. She'll talk to you a lot. Libras love to communicate, so she'll text you a lot, she'll call you, she'll want to see you and talk in person, as frequently as possible. She'll definitely want her family and friends to meet you. Like, you'll get an introduction to her parents or her siblings, maybe even her cousins or her grandparents. You'll definitely meet her best friends. If she's interested in you, she'll want to see what their reactions are to you because, like I said, it's important for you to fit in with all the relationships that she already has. So she's always looking for the one, so she kind of may stay in a relationship for too long, or she may have, like, exes floating around in the background, kind of like as friends or whatever, people she still hangs out with. If she's truly interested in you and truly wants to be with you and wants to commit to you, she'll probably stop talking to all these people. Maybe you have to ask her to, but maybe she'll do it on her own. If she's interested in you and thinks that you are definitely going to be someone in her life, then she's not going to be talking to all these male friends or female friends, whatever. She's not going to keep continuing to talk to people that she's kind of keeping around just in case. Like, she'll end that if she considers you to be somebody that's going to stay in her life. So I think that's the ultimate way to tell if a Libra woman is interested in you. So that is a Libra woman and how to get with one. My best friend is actually a Libra woman, so this was kind of a fun one for me to do, but I know that it's probably going to be pretty lengthy. Yep, but I love the Libras, so yeah. Anyways, I don't want to keep talking because this video will be way too long. If you're interested in a Libra woman, or you are a Libra woman, or you're just watching this for the hay of it, I hope you enjoyed, and as always, I hope you have a good day or night.